the Zone. I'm Dave Delgado here with Craig Camacho, Guam Visitors Bureau Destination Specialist, Sports and Events. We're here to talk about GVB's signature event, the Guam Coco Kids Fest. Big deal, and it's catered to the kids.
Yeah, all for the kids. We call it the ultimate kids experience, and it's quite a feel-good event to have to put together an event for kids. But I mean, I'll talk about some of the objectives behind having a kids festival event, and being at the Guam Visitors Bureau and appreciating one of our best market of visitors, which is our family market. And so we want to use this event to really position the attractivity of Guam to bring kids from our overseas markets to enjoy an ultimate kids experience event.
Yeah, because like with kids comes parents and family members.
Exactly, and we're able to reinforce that market segment that we've always appreciated over the years, you know. And so it's really giving back to our visitors, but equally important, it hits home for me because it gives our kids, our local kids, another event to participate in. And being a father myself, it's one of my favorite events. It's just a feel-good event to see our local people and our visitors interact. It's one of our core objectives. Really, is our visitors want to touch and feel the culture wherever they go, whatever destination. And so what events do, most especially the Coco Kids Fest, it gives Guam an identity. It says, hey, we're Chamorro. You know, we're not Hawaiian. We're not just generalized as specific islanders. We're from Guam. We're Chamorro. And it allows that interactivity between our visitors and our locals. But I'll tell you, the best part about it is giving back to our local community, you know, via our tourism attraction fund, excuse me, via our tourism attraction fund, we're able to give back to the community in many ways, and all free.
Yeah.
You know, I heard Jason and Tom the other day, and the 3Fs, I love it, family, fun, and free. And so, yeah, we're excited to give back to the community. We got a great team behind us, organizing, working hard. Our sponsors, thank you so much for giving all the time. Again, it's for the community, but what we notice is that when we create events that are great for our community, our visitors equally enjoy it. So I'm excited. It's a great event. This weekend is going to be amazing. We're preparing. We're pulling out all the stops. We've got tons of. We kind of position them into different zones to kind of create a feng shui kind of atmosphere. But so we'll have a cultural zone that I'm very excited about. And you know, it ties in with our community outreach efforts to really get back to the basics of who we are again, you know, going back to identity and who we are. You know, we say hafa day, it means hello. And those are so important for our kids to, you know, reinforce that to our kids, but our community as a whole. And so what better than to provide an event for our families to come on a Sunday to the beach, to what I want to call Guam's biggest playground come Sunday.
Yeah, and you teamed up with Harao Academy, and you talk about culture and Guam culture in general. They are teaching it to the youth, everything from the Chamorro language to arts and crafts and everything like that. But talk about that partnership with Harao Academy and how you guys were able to get them on board.
Oh my gosh, Harao is amazing. What they're doing, we just want to partner up with them to help them really get the message out to the community. You know, for so long, our language is so important and so to our culture that we need to reinforce that. It's one of the pillars of really preserving our culture, and we're just happy to provide a platform for them to be a part of it. And you know, with them owning all of these different cultural activities, I'm just excited to see what they're continuing to do on top of the things they've already been doing. They keep growing, and the number of kids that'll be down there supporting the event, it's going to be amazing. So we have the cultural zone with weaving demonstrations, a cocoa relay race, And then a lot of different things to really tie in some of the other nonprofit agencies that also give them a platform to, help reach out to the community on awareness objectives. So.
Yeah, one of the things I'm really looking at is the Sling Stone demo. With the success Guam has had off island in Spain, bringing home some hardware, and the sport is being introduced at the high school level. So high school kids will get a chance to do some slinging, but I think this right here is not only great for kids to learn more about the culture and things done back in the days, but it's a fun activity.
Yeah. I actually enjoy slinging myself. A good friend of mine wove me a sling, and what I challenged the team to do was also focus on the safety aspect of slinging. What's appropriate, but also how to do it, the technique about it. Yeah, we're so proud about Roman and Guelu. We've actually sponsored them. The event last year that they were able to go to, so hearing their achievements was just like amazing. But yeah, the cultural piece to it, Coco Kids has really grown from being more of a sporting event to now emerging into this whole like kids ultimate experience, and it's just great how it's just like mutated into this great thing. I can't wait for it to grow and grow and grow and grow.
Yeah,
this is only the beginning.
Yeah, and looking at the activities offered throughout the day, you guys have so many things, Carabao rides. How many kids can actually say they've been on a Carabao and lived on Guam for so long? And then, of course, you guys have the wall climbing and other events lined up throughout the day. But like you said, I think the main thing is parents are able to realize that, this is free, and they're going to take advantage of it. So we're live here, and we have some people watching us right now. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask the questions here. And let's bring Tom. We have Tom coming in. Tom's from the Strider Guam side, and Trench Kids, bringing in the shirt, medals here. All right, Tom, let's talk about how you guys were able to join up with GVB and bring the activity side of the kids here on board.
Well, the Strider thing was in talks with Craig for almost a year now. When we brought the bikes to Guam and started to promote them, we wanted to show that it definitely is a potential for sports tourism on a younger level, plus their parents, of course, right? So we finally came to fruition with collaborating with them with Coco Kids Fest.
And let's talk about the course. I know I follow you guys on the chat group, and you guys already have some off-island participants registered.
We do. Right when we opened up registration, we had about 2 or 3 participants from Japan that signed up, and 1 from the Philippines.
Let's talk about the course. How do you guys, come up with the course itself?
Well, we adapt it to the terrain. So obviously it's actually a blessing in disguise, because it's our first race. A lot of our riders on Guam are first timers or first time racing, right? So doing it on grass is really nice. If they do, fall over, they're not going to get hurt. But we do adapt it to the terrain. There'll be a few turns. We'll be making some small ramps that they could go over. And we're also building a start box, a gate, almost like motocross style.
Talk about the age groups you guys are targeting for this race.
For the Strider group, there's a 2-year and under category, there's a 3-year-old category, a 4-year-old category, and then there's a 3 to 6 open division for the bigger 14X bike.
And if you guys haven't seen the videos and the commercials, it's probably one of the cutest things you'll ever see as a parent. But then you have some kids that are pretty competitive too.
Yeah, well, I'm always involved in any event that I try to get involved in. It's because I have a personal, connection to it. And I have young children, I have toddlers. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. And my 3-year-old loves the Strider bikes. I don't know what to say. I mean, I got turned on to it a couple of years back from Henry Simpson. He, showed us the video, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And with my involvement with the racetrack, it was kind of like, hey, let's do something to cultivate, younger riders to come out and race motocross in the future. So that's how it kind of all started.
And let's talk about the bike itself. They come without pedals, and then you can also get the ones that you're able to add pedals later on as the kid gets older.
Right, so there's 2 models that they make. The smallest one is the Strider 12 that you see here, and that comes without pedals. It's basically a balance bike. And they actually make a rocking base for infants. So if you have an infant that can't even walk yet, just crawling and just learning their mobility skills, it's a great way for them to learn how to mount the bike and figure it out. So you can start off with the rocking base, and then when they're walking and they're ready to ride, you take it off the base, use the bike, and they learn the basic skills of balance and steering. And once they get that down, transitioning to a pedal bike is as easy as that without ever touching training wheels.
And let's talk about some of the places that the bike is available at right now.
Oh, in person, they could go to Bonita Baby in Nagana or Harley Davidson Cycles Plus in MIT if they want to see it in person, or they could go online on our online store at littleridersguam.com.
And how many riders do we have registered for this weekend's race?
We have 30.
30. And let's talk about the Trench Kids side now. This is the obstacle course event for kids that really like going outdoors and putting in work in obstacles.
We're going to have, it's usually done up at the racetrack with you guys, but this year we've merged it into Coco Kids Fest, and it's going to be done here at Epel Beach. We're going to have approximately 10 obstacles. Age divisions start from the 4 to 5-year-olds, the 6 to 7, 8 to 9, 10 to 11. And then we also have a 4-kid team category, and that's the 6 to 8-year-olds, 4 kids in each team, and then the 9 to 11-year-olds, 4 kids in each team.
And this is an event that we can draw some off-island participants to as well.
Pretty sure, pretty sure.
And let's talk about just registration for that. Do you have already some age groups already filled out, or?
Actually, yes, the 6 to 7-year-old group is sold out, the 8 to 9-year-old group is sold out, and the 9 to 11 is pretty close to being sold out.
And for more info and following you guys, how can they get more info?
They could follow us on Instagram on Trench Challenge, at Mark Trench Challenge, or Trench Events on Facebook and trenchevents.com on the web.
And of course, like 5Ks, we're looking at the Diddy bags and finisher medal right here. Talk about the shirts and
yeah, so every participant is going to receive this really cool dry fit shirt, a Coco Kids Fest dry fit shirt, and that's both the Trench Kids and the Strider Racers. And then every finisher for the Trench Kids race are going to receive this really cool sweet medal. Coco Kids on there. 2019 finisher, really nicely done, high quality stuff.
Okay, let's talk about this weekend's events. What time can we start expecting people to trickle down here in Epel Beach?
Well, the first event will take place was the Trench Kids at 7 a.m. So we're gonna see kids as early as 6 o'clock in the morning, warming up, get them, wake them up, let them have some breakfast, stretch them out, and again, it's a fun event. No pressure on really competing, and we just want the families to come out and enjoy what we've prepared to them. And again, it's giving back to the community. Everything will be provided free of cost. The rock climbing, the zip lining, you name it. We're gonna open up some obstacles throughout the course of the day to allow the kids to play on certain obstacles that are. We'll have some volunteers. We'll have about 100 volunteers out there. So it really is a combined community effort, and together with our sponsors, really. So yeah, come on down Sunday. It should end at about 2, but we'll see how that goes. Again, we're expecting what, 500 kids alone for the obstacle course
Right.
about, and so we're gonna take steps to make sure that, you know, the kids really enjoy themselves that day. It's purely about the kids.
And I think the main thing too is the half a day pledge.
Yes, very important to us, very important for our island, very important for our language. And this is GVB's commitment to giving back to the community, but also preserving our identity, right? To give us a sense of place, and when we go overseas and we really sell and promote Guam.
And let's talk about any last minute information you want to get out there for the activities for Trench Kids and Strategy Guam.
I think we covered most of it, but we do want to thank some of our sponsors that made it possible, right? Sky Zone has actually popped in, and they're going to be providing 30-minute free bounce time for all the participants. So they're going to be getting the coupon in their ditty bags. Docomo Pacific is going to be providing us with free Wi-Fi on the park. So that'll be something cool for people to connect to social media and upload their pictures and stuff and hashtag us.
Packet pickup.
Packet pickup Friday and Saturday. Tom can elaborate on that. Sky Zone. And
Two separate locations. Friday packet pickups at Sky Zone from 5:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then on Saturday at Island Color and Copy behind TikTok in Tumuning from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And so, I forgot to mention, we'll have food trucks out there positioning morning type meals, and foods. So come on down. I'd like to thank our government agencies again, as always, Guam Police Department, Guam Fire Department, Department of Parks and Recs for helping us and supporting us throughout all our events every year, not just the Kids Fest. So,
Any last words?
Thanks to all of our sponsors, there's a bunch of them that made this possible. Pacific Trucking helped us move our container from the racetrack down here to the EPAL. Fence Masters is going to be providing us with the fences. There's a lot of in-kind contributors to this event that make it possible. So without them, can't pull it off. Thank you very much.
to all our Coco kids, this is our 13th year. We want to invite all our Coco kids down. You know who you are, and we welcome new Coco kids to be a part of our GVB and our Guam family. So come on down, it'll be fun. Again, we challenge the team to have an ultimate kids experience, and that's what we're shooting for. So come on down.
All right, thanks for being on the show. See you again next Thursday at 9 in the morning.